This is the voice of Radio Free Neruda.
You know, I wasn't going to say this at all, but I can't help it. There you go again.
Dog dung. Pup pops poop poo. Staunch stench pee pew.
I just wanted to be clear and honest about why I will be missing the Unbroken events in the next few days, which is that I found out last night that I have chicken pox.
Without me, this camp does not exist.
Pardon?
Myself is the only existing reality, and all other reality, including the external world and other persons, are representations of that self, and have no independent existence.
Us?
Yes,
The cat.
everything.
We see. Sergeant, take this man out and have him shot. Damn. Still here.
Waiting for Hillary Clinton at the mic.
And so glad to be with all of you on this beautiful day.
And call up file. Yes. Thank you. Didn't ask for that. Now then, I'm glad that you read it, because, as I stated, it appears that what you've given me, it refers directly to the weeds.
Frankie, listen to me.
Yes, sir, speak.
We have sent you a notice. If you don't mow your yard by the date given in that notice, we will come in and mow it. I would prefer to do that with your cooperation and not just clear cut the yard. So when we come in, I will contact you and let you know we are coming, and you can cooperate with us and get a 15-foot buffer mowed and whatever other area that we can cooperate and agree on. If you don't want to cooperate with us, that's fine. I'm mowing the whole yard.
Under what?
It's already been told. City ordinance. Gave you a copy of it last time. Not going over it again.
Section 10,
on that.
Section 1017.
It was given to you last time. Not going over it again.
This is the authority
Frankie,
you're
I'm
claiming.
not going over it again.
You're not discussing at all, sir.
I'm not.
I have a question.
No, sir, there is no question.
There is no question.
Now,
What do
let's
you-
talk about your utility bill, because I'd like to see you keep your water on.
No, sir. If that is how it goes, there's nothing for me to do. If you will not answer my questions
We've
about my
answered your
response.
questions. We've answered
No,
your
you
questions.
said that you said you're not entertaining questions.
No, we've answered your question. Under what authority we're going to come mow your
Is
yard?
section 1017
If that's
of the...
what we gave you a copy of last time, then
No,
yes,
sir,
that
what
is
you
it.
gave me
Frankie,
was a copy.
Frankie, why don't we
a
cover,
form.
Frankie, why don't we first cover your water bill? Because I'd like to see you
We've
be able to
settled
keep...
those two prongs, sir.
Well,
The next...
but the payment hasn't been made yet. So I want you to
What,
know
at what
that
time and what place?
let's look at this right here and let's talk about the water bill so we can get this done so you know what the next steps happen on the water bill, okay?
Well, if you wish to address the first issue, sure, we'll pick it up there. If you don't wish to discuss the third issue, we'll pick that up in a moment.
Okay. So your current bill is $46.34. That's
Yeah.
for water, sewer, garbage, and tax.
Yes.
The payment that is due on April 20th is that $46.34. A $100 payment on the past due amount for a total amount of $146.34.
Yes, sir.
If you don't pay it on April 20th, then a 10% late fee is added.
Yes, sir.
That's the $46.34, $100, a late fee of $57.24 for a total payment of $203.58.
Yes, sir.
You go to the next page. If you don't pay it by May 25th, your service will be disconnected. And to get it reconnected, you'll have a payment of $46.34, the $100 on the past due amount, a late fee of $57.24, and a reconnect fee of $25 for a total payment of $228.58.
Yes, sir.
So if you pay it by April 20th, that saves you $57.24.
It's not an issue of payment. We can make payment this instant if
Okay.
that's what is required. Now then, what I would like, and since we're talking about billing, I would like a copy, an itemized copy of what constitutes my past bill. And I should also like to ask that I be granted the reasonable accommodation of a monthly water bill that's in a large print type.
That's why we gave you this in 20-point.
Well, wonderful, but
Your future bills will be in that same format attached to the regular bill,
wonderful.
but it will be in the same
Will
format.
it reflect the other informations as well?
I'll make note of that.
As water consumption, that's a very important issue. But
It's itemized on the bills that are
Yes,
printed
ma'am.
out by the machine. We had, so we can provide that for you.
Well,
If I
I
may
wonder.
interject, we are having some difficulty with getting the post office to deliver mail to the property. I know that's not exactly the city's purview.
No, I'll just request that until we can get that issue settled, just ask for a general delivery that we can pick up at the post
Okay,
office.
well then make a note of that. We'll then just have them do that as general delivery.
Thank
If
you.
they're willing to do that.
Or you could come pick up your bill here at City Hall.
That would be probably equally possible.
He doesn't have a post office box that bad.
I guess that we're
It was
having problems with the
stolen.
neighbors tearing it down.
And so, wonderful. Then I'm perfectly happy with that arrangement, and I also take it as tacit admission that in the past the city wasn't compliant and failing to provide that. Now then, okay, so we've discussed The first part, the water issue, when to pay and what. And I think I can settle that before I leave today. What was, and I don't think you have any, did you wish to discuss the second prong?
Second prong is taking care of your yard. You can do something.
Well, no, that was actually to closet my excretion.
And we've already agreed to that.
Yes, ma'am. So, okay, you don't wish to go over
The only remaining issue we
that?
have is the yard.
All right. Yeah.
So, by city ordinance, we have a 14-inch limit of vegetation.
Wonderful. So you are referring to 10 to 17. Yes, ma'am. And then, and as I said before, if you will look at the body of the law that's given under section 1017, subsection A, 2 is the defense to your 14-inch requirement.
Frankie?
It's a requirement. There's no
It's a
defense of
requirement,
it.
and that's where we stand, and that is final.
It's an adopted city ordinance.
If you want to argue before the judge,
Well, that if you have
what
true,
I'm
if you
offering to do
have,
with
if you
you-
have, if you, sir, if you have read what I have written, then you will understand that because what you wish to do involves my property.
Frankie, there's an ended discussion on this. What I'm offering to do is give you the opportunity to mow the yard yourself, or wait until we come and mow it, and work with us and see if we can't come to some kind of an agreement on what stays mowed. It is your choice. If we come mow it, we will put a lien against your property for the cost of us mowing it. I do not accept your argument on agriculture use in an urban setting. It does not negate the city ordinance.
Setting.
No, Frankie.
And you haven't read everything. I said in any, and if you will, and I'm referring back to the written response. Please check your copy and see if I'm saying otherwise. If you look below where we make the claim of agricultural defense, and we still do, it says, in any instance, because section 1017 addresses property, constitutional protections of due process attach.
And we will take
And that is footnoted.
Well, we will follow due process.
We will follow the due
All
process.
right. Now then, and below that statement, due process entails, at minimum, notice and prior hearing. And that's footnoted to the case that sets forth a very clear.
We're not going to have a hearing over it. We will provide you with
Proper
notice.
You are not going to grant prior hearing. Well, that
That
is
will be
the.
up to the attorney to decide.
No, actually, the courts have long decided that.
Frankie, I'm not
And
here
they-
to argue legal matters with you.
Then
Your
maybe
yard
you
is
should
going
bring the
to be-
city attorney in.
No, we're not going to.
Oh,
Your
you're not
yard
going
is
to.
going to get mowed.
Well,
Either
sir,
by you or by the city, and hopefully with your cooperation. But your yard is going to get mowed. You can decide whether or not you want to do it, or if you want the city to come in and do it and cooperate with us, or if you don't want to cooperate with us and we'll mow the yard after we have followed the due process.
that's what you say, sir. I'm asking, do you understand what due process entails?
Our attorney fully
Do you understand
understands what due process
Then you will
entails, and
understand
she's
that
involved.
due process
Frankie,
entails.
Frankie, you don't understand. I'm not arguing that today. I'm telling you the next
I'm not
steps that are
arguing with
coming.
you either. I'm discussing this matter.
There's nothing to discuss on that.
There is much to discuss.
No, there's nothing to discuss.
You were going to come back today with a yes or no answer.
No, ma'am, I
Yes,
didn't
you
say
were.
that. I said I would come back
That's
with a
the end of
response.
the discussion. If this is your if your argument is my yard can stay a mess, then there's nothing here to discuss. That's no compromise on your part. That's just you saying my yard can stay a mess, and that's not an acceptable response on our part for us.
No, that's not.
Either you will take care of your yard or we will. And we can do it with your cooperation to where maybe you can save some of the areas in there, or we can do it without your cooperation. But one way or the other, your yard will be mowed. I would prefer to do that. I would prefer you to take care of it. I understand you may not be physically able to in the condition the yard is in, so I'm willing to do it with your cooperation. But if I can't get your cooperation, the yard is getting mowed. After we follow the due process. I understand, and our attorney will be intimately involved in the process leading up to us coming onto your property and mowing your yard. Rest assured. So what I'm hoping is you'll cooperate with us. But whether you do or not, we will get to the point that our attorney says we have followed due process. You can go take care of the problem.
And I'm pointing out where the United States Supreme Court has said.
No, we're not going over that.
All right, then let me understand what it is you just told me. And please sit,
Okay.
sir. It makes us. You're saying that you will follow due process, and you assert that due process is adequate notice.
Now, our attorney will tell us when we have completed the due process.
Adequate notice. You just mentioned much about notice.
We will give notice, but the attorney will determine when we have completed the due process. You will get notice in the mail, and whatever other steps our attorney says we have to follow before we can undertake the project.
All right, then. What we are saying, then, if that's the case, is that your actions are against my property.
Duly noted. We're done.
Well, no, you didn't allow me to finish.
No, because you're going to be arguing
All right,
constitutional law and all that kind of stuff.
Then
and
let
our
me tell
attorney
you.
will take all that into consideration.
Then let me tell you what I should. Since you've told me what you shall do, I shall tell you what I shall do.
Okay.
I shall go before the civil district attorney of the county and seek relief through what is the process? Injunction.
That's
Because what you
perfectly-
propose to do and what the city has done in the past is violate my
You're
my
perfect. That is
liberty
perfectly
and
within
my
your rights to go
property
do, Frankie.
without
Frankie,
due
what this
process.
comes down to is you can work with us or you can fight us every step of the way. Either way, I believe what will end up happening is your yard will be
Sir,
mowed.
the city has injured both my liberty and my
That's your
property
claim, and I
without
understand
due
that's your claim.
process.
So you've got a decision to make. You can either work with us or you can fight us.
Now, where do I pay this water?
I'll show you.
At the window?
Yes.
And you say it is due upon the
20th.
20th,
4 days.
4 days.
No, it becomes late after the 20th. It's actually due now. It becomes
Well, sir,
late on the 20th.
then why have you written payment due by?
By. You can pay it on or before that date.
Thank you. Thank you.
proceeding was brought to you by the makers at Golematic. Bright lies for dark truths.